Ladies and gentlemen, the deed is done. I now invite His Excellency the President and the Chairman of the Partnership.
Of Alliance for Change, Honorable David Patterson, General Secretary of Partnership for National Unity, Colonel Joseph Harmon, members of the APNU and AFC, particularly the ministers present, Minister Tabitha Sarabo, Minister of the Public Service, Minister Jaipal Sharma, Minister in the Ministry of Public Infrastructure, Minister Keith Scott, Minister in the Ministry of Social Protection, members of the media. Today is more than a historical coincidence that the four of us at this head table were the original signers or signatories to the accord on 14th of February. Same four, no change. What has changed is the strengthening of the accord based on our experiences over the last roughly 4.5 years. In particular, as you know, the experiences with the interpretations of the Constitution during the last 12 months have made us more careful to ensure that everything we do is fully compliant with the Constitution. That is an important lesson. But as far as the government is concerned, we have worked well together over that period, and we have taken some decisions, that is to say, the leader of the AFC and myself, to strengthen the Prime Minister's office, especially in light of our thrust towards constitutional reform. And there will be some rebalancing of the governmental functions to strengthen the Prime Minister's office. We will add a parliamentary secretary, which has not been an appointment used for several decades, to enable the Prime Minister, on entering the office, to expedite his work. So there'll be a stronger thrust towards constitutional reform. And in our second term of office, it will be completed. I'm very confident with that. He will also be in charge of a robust legislative agenda to make sure that the promises that will be embedded in the manifesto are in fact fulfilled. They will not be empty promises, but these would be actionable, achievable commitments to the Guyanese people. I want to assure the people of Guyana that the process that has brought us here was not a flash in the pan. It was a deliberate process. Some people might have been frustrated that it was moving too slowly with the fact that it was moving slowly, but in fact, it was a four-stage process. We knew that from the start. Within the APNU and the AFC, we deliberated in depth on core principles, and this was the first step that the core principles were accepted by both APNU and the Alliance for Change. We then went on to the business of the renegotiation of the Cummingsburg Accord. This took a bit of time, but today marks the end of that second step of the process. We have already started walking on two legs. We are working on the manifesto, and we hope that this can be completed very quickly, amicably, cordially, but embedding the very principles that we tend to put to the Guyanese people when we launch on the 3rd of January next year. A year that is going to be very significant for us in many ways. So those are the 4 steps: the agreement on the core principles, the agreement on the Cummingsburg Accord, agreement on the manifesto, and then the launch of our campaign. We are very confident that in everything that has happened over the last 4.5 years, the preparatory work that we've done over the last 4 months or so will lay the foundation for an even enhanced government and quality of governance in our next term. You would have heard, my colleagues, friends, that on the 20th of December, just a mere 4 days ago, I announced National Petroleum Day. It is a day that Guyanese must never forget. It is one of the most transformative events in the history of this country. And the Guyanese nation should be proud and pleased that they have a responsible government on seat at the time of National Petroleum Day, 20th of December 2019. We intend to use that resource in a very prudent manner. And you can rest assured that this accord that has just been signed caters for a consensual approach to the management of the petroleum resource within the cabinet, and we will extend this to the wider civil society and, of course, to the National Assembly. So we have not been standing still, we have not been sitting on our hands. This is a working document that is going to benefit all Guyanese. You've heard me say also that next year, 2020, we will launch a decade of development from 2020 to 2029. So everything that has happened, including today, will prepare us better for that decade of development. So I'm very happy today on the part of APNU. I'm very happy to be with my cabinet colleague over the last more than 4.5 months, 4 years and 6 months, that we will be going together, but we will also be going forward to ensure that the Guyanese people get the quality of government that they demand, that they desire, and that they deserve. Thank you for being here, and I'd like to congratulate my colleague from the Alliance for Change for this event. What?
Slower.
Oh, a slow handshake. Oh. We did it too quickly. All right.
You can make something up. Come on.
Thank you, Your Excellency, all present,